Hi, guys. Welcome to this week's vocabulary lesson. Your word list for this week is vers and vert, meaning to turn. So you'll see how all of these words mean turning physically or, no, basically turning physically. Most of these are nouns and verbs. So we can get started. The first word is anniversary. That's a noun. We know that when we see the word Annie or the first A and N, we know that that means year. And the definition is the date on which an event occurs every year. Every year, an event turns a year older. A lot of you have parents who have been married for many years, and every year they celebrate their anniversary. I know that my parents do. My grandparents also celebrate their anniversary, lots of aunts and uncles as well. And it's when every year an event turns a year older. You could say that even like your birthday is an anniversary, but I mean, well, it's a yearly it's a yearly event that occurs. So yeah. Your next word is conversation. Conversation is a noun. It's a discussion that switches from one person to another, a discussion that turns back and forth. Oftentimes, when we talk about characters having dialogue, in order for characters to have dialogue, the conversation needs to turn back and forth. It needs to go from one person to another person in order for it to be considered a conversation. The root here is con, which is the con, and those of you that are Spanish speaking could tell me that con usually means with. If we say conmigo, that goes would go with me, contigo, go with you, and so on. Convert is a noun. If you convert something, it means to turn or change your beliefs or way of thinking. Often when we use the word convert, we relate it to religion. There are many people who have converted to the Mormon religion. They feel that the Mormon religion is better than the religion that they had, or maybe they didn't have religion at all before, so they converted. Also, people of the Jewish faith, most of the time, would like to still marry within the Jewish faith. So, if they do meet someone who may not be Jewish, that person may want to convert to appease the person that they are with, who is of the Jewish religion. Next is diversify. Diversify is a verb. It means to divide up money into different investments so that if one area turns for the worse, then you will be protected. When you diversify your money, yes, you're putting it in different investments. I often think, of course, of the stock market when we were talking about investing your money. And there are many different areas that you could put your money in. So just in case one of them is not doing so well, you have money in other profitable investments, so that way you're still protected and you don't lose all of your money. I actually have stock in GE, General Electric. Some of you may or may not have those appliances in your home. Diversion is a noun. A diversion is something that turns your attention off of what you are thinking about. So something that diverts your attention, something that might interrupt your thought process, or a diversion could also be your siblings coming in to interrupt you every 5 minutes while you're working, you know, or your children who live with you in your house. An extrovert is a noun. Now we're seeing that EX there, so we know we're talking about something on the outside. And an extrovert is a person who turns his or her attention outward toward other people. And going along with introvert, we know in means, well, in. And an introvert is a person who turns his or her attention inward toward himself or herself. And that is a shy person. So we know extroverts are usually people who are a little bit more outgoing. They're not always, and I don't want to say reclusive, but they are not always just to themselves. Introverts are shy people. They mostly turn their attention into inward towards themselves, and they like to think a lot. The video that you watched yesterday for your bell ringer talks about why it's good to be an introvert. I can't wait to read some of your comments to see how you agreed or disagreed with the speaker. Invert is a verb. Sorry about that. It means to turn or flip in the opposite direction. So simply, whatever you have in your hand, you take it, you flip it around, you turn it. It's inverted. Um, Revert is a verb. It means to turn back to a previous action or thought, or to go back in thought or speech. Revert also means to give back. Um, when I think of the term revert, when I'm thinking about to go back to a previous action or thought, it's usually when there's been a diversion created and I have to stop what I'm doing in order to complete a different task. Then I would revert back to what I was doing before. So we know we have the root, or I'm sorry, the prefix re here, and when we see that prefix, we know it means again. So thinking about going back to do something again, or that you were doing before. And your last word for this list is subvert. Subvert is a verb. It means to corrupt or undermine, to turn against established authority. And that's something that's very important, the established authority. Now, we've had a word in the past that used the same prefix of sub, which was subject. And we know that when you subject yourself underneath someone else's rule. It could be your teacher, it could be your parents, maybe it's the Queen of England. A subvert, though, means that subject is now turning against and undermining that established authority. So basically, they are not listening anymore and they are not wanting to follow the directions of that authority. All right, that is your word list for this week. For your vocabulary challenge, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to try to find an example of your terms, any of the terms, or even of just the word list in general. I want you to create a meme or a GIF using one of the words and the definition. Be creative and have fun with this. There are a lot of different uh, things out there that will help you figure out how to create a meme or GIF, and then you will maybe put it. You could probably put it in your maybe a slides presentation and upload it to Google Classroom, or you can print out a picture and take a picture. You know the routine, guys. Whatever you can in order to show me your vocabulary challenge. Just make sure you're able to upload it. All right. Cannot wait to see these memes or gifs. I was so excited for this. I was going to wait for another week and I'm not. So take care, guys. Have fun. Enjoy. We'll talk later. Bye.